Hey friend, welcome to another episode of Online Store Success with me, your host, Jody Minto. Today I have a very special guest who I am chatting with about all things attribution. I know attribution is such a pain point for so many online entrepreneurs, e-commerce particularly, where all of these multiple marketing channels are counting the sale, and if you were to add up all of those numbers, none of them actually equate to what you did in fact make that month. So Adam is chatting with us today about the power of Triple Whale, which is a third-party tool that you plug in all of your systems to that then produces you better information and more clarity around how, in fact, you got the sale. Tune in. It's an awesome episode, jam-packed, filled with lots of info. Let's go. Hi, welcome to the Online Store Success Podcast. I'm your host, Jody Minto, an e-commerce coach and meta ads specialist. Each week, I share with you practical strategies to help you grow a profitable online store that runs in school hours and supports your lifestyle. Let's get into it. All right. Hello. Welcome to this week's episode of Online Store Success with me, your host, Jody. I'm really excited today because I have a very special guest, Adam, who is joining us from Triple Whale. Now, some of you listening are probably like, oh my gosh, I don't know what Triple Whale is and I use it and it's awesome. And others might be like, why are you talking about fish? Today, we're going to unpack exactly what we mean and tell you what it is because it's a good thing. It's an awesome tool. I've been dabbling with it behind the scenes for a little while now, and I'm so thrilled that Adam's here to share with us what it is, how it works, and how it will help you in your business. Adam, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. What a pleasure to be here, Jody. And just want to start by saying hello to all the listeners and everyone who's tuning into this amazing podcast series. Love the work that Jody does for her clients and in the community. So a real pleasure to be here today. First thing listeners might pick up from me and is my English accent. So I'm from the UK, but I'm dialing in from Melbourne. I've been in Australia about 8 years now. I'll start off with a cute story before we go full econ.
Yeah, please do. We'd love to get to know you.
Yeah, I've been here 8 and a bit years. I've worked in tech for about 20 or nearly like 20 years with big companies like IBM, Wix, but now Triple Whale, which has been the most exciting part of my career. But as I said, cute story. Came over to Australia 8 years ago. I came to Melbourne. And I met my now wife on my first day in Australia. Yeah, on the beach, outside a bar in St Kilda Beach, and we actually ended up getting married just the stone's throw from there. So it's been a real exciting journey.
Amazing. You have goosebumps when you told me that. On the very first day, welcome to Australia. Here's it.
Yeah, very nice welcome from Australia. But yeah, no. So I've been now had a couple of tech companies, but most recently has been Triple Whale. So I was the first hire for Triple Whale in APAC, based in Australia. It's just been an incredible journey so far. I've been working with very talented people like Jody and spearhunting our growth with agencies and partners and technology providers as well. So I work really closely with companies like Klaviyo, Yotpo, Shopify, Google. We're now 18 months since I joined Triple Whale. We're now got about 10 people locally here in Australia, and we're having incredible growth, incredibly exciting, and it's amazing to see how we're providing such amazing results for our customers as well.
Yeah. How long has Triple Whale been around? I feel like it's been around for a while, but in its very early days, it was really expensive, and I felt like it seemed to be only for really tech savvy or big brands or big agencies. It wasn't so much about the individual solopreneur e-compounder.
Yeah, so we're now at our fifth birthday towards the end of last year. So we're in our fifth year now. But the product maturity is insane. Like the product's changed so much, even in the last couple of months. With AI and the way we innovate, it's wild. So we have really evolved so much from a product perspective. We have definitely as well with like the market that we appeal to, we're the most widely adopted measurement and attribution tool in the market. Followed recent results by a company called Ramp. We've got 60,000 customers, and as you can imagine, with those 60,000 customers, yeah, there's big ones. And if you go on the website, you see case studies for LSKD, Outcast, Kickass, some Aussie case studies we've got on the website. But we very much do have a platform that is capable of driving amazing results for smaller companies as well.
Yeah.
And with that, we have a package for that. Like we got to end with at some point today.
I know we haven't actually touched on what it is, but I know now there's a free version as well, which is awesome. So we should talk about what the heck actually is Triple Whale.
Yeah.
What is it?
Like you said, some people are like thinking, if we just joined a fishing podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Triple Whale, we are the complete complete data platform for e-commerce providers. So we essentially are able to pull together all of everything that touches your website. And that's going to maybe connected, say, to your Shopify store. We can connect to other e-commerce stores, but it's pulling those all together to help you make better decisions, driving and improving and automating efficiencies across your business that are going to save you time, drive more money, make you more profitable, make things easier, scalable across your whole business.
I love it. I know I often talk to my clients and my students about this attribution black hole, right? So if anyone listening, I'm sure you've experienced this where you've made a sale, it shows that it's come from Meta ads inside of Ads Manager. You head over to Shopify. Shopify says, no, actually, this was like a Google organic search. You look at Google Analytics, it tells you something else. You go into Klaviyo. Klaviyo's also counted the sale because attribution is a bit of a black hole, right? It's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? And depending on counting windows of each of these different platforms, there's a lot of double counting going on. So does Triple Whale help solve this particular problem?
That is exactly why Triple Whale is let in the room. And for all those listeners out there that are experiencing that, you are not on your own. We have that conversation every day. And it's a problem with not just small businesses, it's a problem with big businesses as well. They have exactly the same problems across the board there. And to your point, Jody, that they're working out like all these companies, whether it's TikTok, Klaviyo, Google, Meta, they're all claiming their platform to sell. They're putting their hand up saying, it was me. I know this is not for those that could see me then, I was putting my hands in the air, but we can, like, everyone is trying to take that credit so that you can continue to invest in their platform. All these platforms are amazing. I love Klaviyo, but they do like over attribute and they inflate that because they don't have that visibility of what is happening in the other platforms. Google Analytics, it's very, very common for people to get a little bit frustrated with Google Analytics. It's not like it's an incredible tool, but it's not amazing with e-commerce. It does, in fact, it struggles with things like returns. It also struggles, it is very restricted and limited. It relies on cookie data. Now, 70% of websites data is you can capture with cookies, but you've got that 30% that you're going to miss. So if you're like me and you reject cookies sometimes, or if you come on by your mobile, like another device, then you're not going to get captured. With Triple Whale, it's a server-side solution. So we're going to capture pretty much every transaction on your website. We're going to capture every single digital touch point that took place upon that path to purchase as well. So if I just purchased a recent purchase, I just moved house. I just bought a robotic vacuum. I was targeted on Meta. I did some research on Google. I signed up to see if I could get a discount code. I then went back to Google. In Triple Whale, with the company I brought my robotic vacuum from, you'll be able to see every single digital touch point there. And for every single one of your customers. In fact, we capture 11 trillion behaviors every single day in our platform that we pull in.
Amazing. I know, because this is a very common problem where
an e-commerce founder is running meta ads, and the meta ad is served to a customer, a potential customer. They see the ad, they click on the ad, they're like, oh, that's kind of cute. They give him a follow on Facebook or Instagram. They go over to the website and they're like, oh, I've got 10% off if I sign up. So they'll sign up for the discount coupon. Then they'll get the email from Klaviyo. They'll click on the email from Klaviyo and go, oh yeah, cool. And then get distracted and then come back 3 days later and go, that's right. And then they'll Google the name of the brand and then they'll come to the website and they'll make the purchase. And by that time, there's been so many touch points. Google's claiming it as an organic search result. So Klaviyo's counting it because it's within their attribution window. Meta's claiming it because it's an attribution window. So how does Triple Whale decipher who got the sale?
I love that. And that, what you have with Triple Whale is flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
So in Google Analytics, a platform that a lot of the listeners would be most familiar with, you have an attribution, you've got 2 attribution models to choose from. You've got last click and you've got data-driven attribution. Last click, cool, that's great. But guess what? If you've got all those different digital touchpoints that we mentioned, and there's more and more and more with all these different campaigns and emerging channels and things like that, you're just relying on one click. So it's just showing one click of a journey. With data-driven attribution in Google, again, great, but it's that black box. What actually is it? Is it going to lean a bit more towards Google, perhaps? Within Triple Whale, we've got several different models that take into consideration that whole journey. So in the beautiful example that you gave there, Jody, where we had found on Meta an Instagram ad, searched on Google, number 2, Klaviyo email, got my discount code in there. In that instance, we'd be able to look at the whole journey. And if there's 3 touch points with linear attribution, we could split it a third. We have other attribution models as well. So we have ones that would look at, first click, last click. Great, we talked about them. We've got linear. What we do also have, we've got other attribution models. We've got one that just gives you everything. Give me everything from all the platforms so that I can just see everything and look at the data and just give 100% credit to the last campaign on each data. That's called triple attribution in Triple Whale. I'm going to tell you about 2 more real quick. Is we have total impact, which incorporates a post-purchase survey. You can get that for free in Triple Whale, where it's like, okay, cool, where'd you buy this? Where'd you see this? And it's going to blend together that first party and zero party data together so that we can then come up with an attribution one. Now, the one that I'm most excited about, and I think would be most relevant, especially what we're going to go to talk to a little bit today on changes that are taking place in Meta and certainly those listeners that are looking to invest in platforms like TikTok and Pinterest that are not so click centric, where we might view an ad as well. We have a model called clicks and deterministic views. So it's not just looking at the clicks you're having on ads, it's going to also factor in those people that have seen your creative
Video.
Video, creative, reels, and all those kind of great pieces there as well. And it's going to factor both of those in, and it's going to also have a time decay on it. It's going to look at recency and frequency and give a deterministic numeric number at the end that is going to help us work out who do we give the credit to.
And I know it's awesome. We chatted a week ago and you gave me a bit of a demo where, correct me if I'm wrong, you can actually change the different views for the attribution windows to see how it's different based on linear versus your triple attribution, things like that. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so easy with a click of the button to flick from one to the other. So if we're thinking, hold on, you're scratching your head looking at like, well, this is what's going on here. You can really easily, with a click of a button, change the attribution model, change the time frame. So you've got so much flexibility, which is great. So all the data and the flexibility to then apply some filters in the form of attribution models to that data as well.
Amazing. I know firsthand there's been some major changes going on behind the scenes with Meta and their attribution settings, amongst other things. I know personally in my own ad account right now, I'm seeing 0 sales attributed, but I know there's sales coming through. I know that it's looking like it looks pretty bad if Meta for a lot of people, but there's confusion around like, well, I think the sales are still coming, but it's not just showing here. Talk to me about these latest changes. What can you share with the listeners here about what's been going on with these meta changes, how this attribution change settings, etc., will impact the results of what we see inside of Ads Manager, and whether or not Triple Whale can help us get through these murky waters and get more clarity there?
Yeah, definitely. And it's a great pickup, Jodie. There has been some changes recently with Meta. They're pretty public with these changes. For those of you that are panicking, they've just come in just now. So it was about a week or two ago. So what's changing? So first of all, Meta click-through attribution now only counts clicks, likes, shares, saves, and a new engage through attribution category. And then videos that have been engaged, they used to say, okay, how long, like there was a timestamp on like, well, how long someone watched this video for us to kind of capture that. That was 10 seconds. That's now been decreased to 5 seconds. But the good news, there's no impact on billing for this, so don't panic. But those are like the two major changes. Meta actually did provide a blog post on this. It's only a few hundred words that that explains these changes, has a small video as well. It's making it a little that kind of just explains these two changes. And yes, Triple Whale can help with this. Triple Whale, we're a named Meta partner, and we integrate with both clicks and views into our attribution, just as we talked about there with some of the attribution models. And where Triple Whale also helps here is that we're stable across platform measurement layer. So you're not just relying on shifting in platform definitions there. So Triple Whale really can just help pull that together and provide those, pull in both clicks and view data. And you still, like you said, have that flexibility to toggle between the different models.
Yeah, and it gives you a second place to go and check. If you're not believing or trusting what Ads Manager is necessarily telling you, it's giving you Triple Whale gives you somewhere else you can go and go, hang on a minute, is this actually true? In a lot more easy to use way than say Google Analytics. I spent about 30 minutes of my life in Google Analytics this morning just going, oh my gosh, I hate this so much. Trying to find the data that you want is not tricky. Unfortunately, I in my business use Kajabi, which doesn't talk to Triple Whale. It's a different platform. So I'm very jealous. But yeah, I can totally see that. Attribution is quite anxiety inducing when business owners are looking at the numbers and say, well, first of all, they don't stack up. Second of all, that one's, I don't know if that's actually true. Like, where do I go from here? So I love that Triple Whale brings it all in. And remind me what platforms do plug in. I know obviously to Triple Whale, I know there's obviously Shopify, and then there's Klaviyo, and there's Meta Ads, there's Google Ads. You mentioned TikTok. What else plugs into it?
Yeah, so we have dozens of, I think it's about 80 different integration partners with plug and play out of the box connections. So whether you're using Yotpo, Attentive, if you want to attach your shipping and logistics companies that you work with, we can connect to all of those. If something does not connect to Triple Whale, then we can also upload that data to Triple Whale if you needed to. So we can connect. So there's one or two platforms we don't connect with, maybe one or two legacy email marketing tools that we don't have connections to, but people upload those connections and we connect via UTM, and we make it easy for you to upload that data as well. As far as you mentioned Shopify there, it really is for e-commerce, but we have out the box integrations to WooCommerce, BigCommerce. If there are any companies out there that use Magento and things like that, then we can have a custom setup for those guys at the moment as well.
Okay, awesome. It's good to know. I mean, obviously, Triple Whale sounds like a really powerful tool, but is there really any perfect attribution? Is that even possible?
Look, I'm going to give a really honest answer here. A lot of people might be thinking that I'm going to give a really big sales push here and say, yeah, everyone sign up to Triple Whale. It's going to solve all your attribution problems. Honestly, it's Triple Whale gives a really good, a solid indication. We're capturing all of the data that is capturable. But at the end of the day, and I think you and I were just talking before, as well. If your daughter was to come back from school and say, Mum, my best friend Sarah, she's got this. I really want this. How do we track that? So it makes it, it's not, you can't say that there is going to be a perfect attribution model. We can but Triple Whale gives a very, very strong indication in that everything that we can capture, we will capture, and we pull that into the platform to give us a really, really good indicator there, which is why we do work with businesses with an offline presence as well. We mentioned LSKD, Culture Kings are another example of a company we work with where, as you can imagine, a lot of their their offline presence is pretty substantial as well, but they use Triple Whale to help make decisions across their business.
I know there's some cool features and some cool numbers at the dashboards that I've looked at around even like cost price and profitability and things like that. So it's obviously like some really cool features. But what do you think are the coolest features that Triple Whale has that e-commerce founders?
Whoa. Wow. Look, I'm gonna try and get this down to two. The first one is going to be one of those ones that's saying, oh God, I knew he was going to say that. And the second one's a really cool one that provides amazing ROI on Triple Whale. The first one is Moby. So if you go onto, Moby is our AI tool. Now I know everyone's saying, check out our AI tool. It's really cool. But the cool thing that really sets Triple Whale's AI tool, Moby, apart from other AI tools is that it is actually connected to everything from an e-commerce perspective that you would want it to be connected to, rather than having to pull data out of Shopify and then out of Meta, and it's going to be inaccurate, and then you're going to have to kind of vibe code the thing together and then see what the output has. Moby is built in and baked into Triple Whale, and we doubled down on AI a couple of years ago, and it is essential. Our customers that are getting the most out of Triple Whale are utilizing Moby and talking to Moby every day like it's an additional employee to your business that's going to quickly help you not just pull the data, but help you make decisions and automate things for you. So Moby and our AI capabilities in Triple Whale are so cool and really where the business is heading.
Awesome.
The second one.
Oh, yeah, go.
No, tell me. I've got one other thing that you haven't mentioned.
Can it automate?
So Moby can automate. We just launched Moby 2. It sounds like a movie trailer, like Moby 2. And for anyone who's thinking of why Moby, it's the Moby Dick. We've got lots of whale references down. Yeah, there's a few more. But Triple Whale in our latest launch of Moby 2, we can automate some really cool things. So we can help you manage your Meta, manage my Meta account for me to automate my ads in Meta. So set your success parameters and what those look like. What's your goals? What's your ROAS target? Your revenue target? How much set those guidelines, and we can actually go in and actually make those changes to budgets and spend within Meta. That can be automated in Triple Whale. We can do forecasts with Moby. So we'll forecast my revenue, my ROAS, my inventory, forecast that in Triple Whale. We can automate your creative to help understand what's working, what isn't. Can I then generate some new creative around that as well? I think some really cool things that we can automate in out.
What was the second thing you were going to say and I cut you off?
No, that's all good. It's all good. It's what we're having fun for. It's fun. So the second is one out there for all the listeners that use Klaviyo. It's called Sonar Send. Sonar, another whale pun in there for you guys. Well, so where this is really cool is this is super easy to turn on in Triple Whale. It's in the paid version of Triple Whale, and it takes about 2 or 3 minutes to turn this on and connect it to your Klaviyo store. Turning on this one feature that I'm about to tell you about will, on average, increases Klaviyo revenue by 15%. And therefore, usually offsets the cost of Triple Whale. In fact, we find it offsets the cost of Triple Whale 10x when someone's paying $1,000 a month for Triple Whale. This will drive $10,000 a month in revenue on average across our customers. Now, It's real simple. It's a set and forget, which is a beautiful thing as well. So you just turn this on. What it's going to do is it's going to capture all of the events that Klaviyo is missing. What I mean by that is if you have Klaviyo flows set up, or attentive, it works with attentive as well, that is going to, your abandoned basket flows, browse abandonment flows, all those beautiful triggered flows that drive a lot of revenue for Klaviyo, they are reliant on cookies to actually automate and trigger those events. Now, just by it's going to miss, therefore, like we talked about cookies earlier, it's going to miss about 30% of those events. So if I abandon my basket for this jumper here, but I'm not, I've opted out of cookies, then that's a missed opportunity for Klaviyo. So what we do at Triple Whale, we send all of that data back to Klaviyo, which allows Klaviyo to send more of those triggered emails. So a great way to just drive revenue and have amazing ROI with Triple Whale.
I love that. I love that. Most of, I feel like most e-com folks generally do use Klaviyo as well. I know in my mastermind, and I know you're coming in tomorrow into the mastermind to give the group a demonstration on how it all works. So we're all very excited about that. But yeah, that's huge. And I know Klaviyo, the cost of Klaviyo is expensive. So anything we can do to help bolster its performance and amplify, yay, right?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Well, I mean, this has been so insightful. I'm so keen to just go and have a bit more of a play around inside of Triple Whale. For those listening that haven't yet looked at Triple Whale, I'm going to link a joining link on the bottom. There is a free program, a free subscription, but talk us through the different tiers and different levels and is it easy to get started, or do you need a developer, or like how does it work?
One of the beautiful things about Triple Whale is how easy it is to get set up. Especially if you use Shopify. By default, it's you can get set up. By default, it would connect to Shopify. Expect it, just put aside maybe 30 minutes to get things set up. There is an article, a knowledge-based article we've got that you can even Google if you can't find it, which is get me set up on Triple Whale, connect the pixel, it will automatically then prompt you to connect to your ad accounts like Meta, Google, Klaviyo, everything that's going to touch your e-com store, and you should be able to get set up in about 30 minutes. Yes, there is a free plan. It is a very good pathway we find for people to be like, oh, this is really cool, but I want a bit more. So should I go on to one of the paid plans? There's two, you could evaluate as well yourself on the Triple Whale website, where you can see Triple Whale pricing. We price based off your Shopify revenue from the last 12 months. And what you'll see there is there's a starter plan, which has some of the core features like Sonar Send is incorporated into that there. So if you just want to get started with something that's quick, easy, set and forget, let's do that. Now, if you're looking to unlock some more of the all of the features, in the core plan, I would recommend upgrading to the advanced plan, where we can do some really cool things, where we can look at analyze all of your creative and go a bit deeper and to help you understand, well, how much revenue are each of my products driving, or how can I build a customer segment and then understand how those customers are behaving. Like, tell me who my top 200 customers are from the last 12 months and how much money they're spending and things like that. So it gives you a lot more flexibility in the advanced plan if you unlock those features there.
Awesome. And I love that the pricing is based on your revenue. So for smaller independent brands, it won't be as expensive as those that are well established with huge teams and things. This has been so fun. Thank you so much for being here, Adam. Like I said, I just kind of want to go away now and play that look. I so appreciate your time being here today to share what it's all about and how it works. And like I said, I will link links to Triple Whale if you want to go and have a little play around with it as well. Really appreciate you being here. Also can't wait for our call tomorrow inside the mastermind. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing all things Triple Whale.
Thank you so much for having me, Jodie. And thank you for all the listeners that have tuned in. And just a real pleasure to be here today.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Online Store Success with me, Jodie Minto. If you loved it, please share it with your friends on Instagram and tag me at @IamJodieMinto so I can say thank you. And if you really want to make my day, please go ahead and leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and give me a follow. If you'd like my help in starting or scaling your online store, be sure to check out my free resources and programs at jodieminto.com. Thanks again, and same time, same place next week. Bye for now.